Hi, welcome back to the C Morning Show for C Today Business. Now, the cost of children's education continues to rise. This is the true inflation right here. Now, one such example is the very expensive elementary school entrance fees. This has prompted most parents, especially the month of June and July, to start strategies in order to provide the best education for our children without sacrificing any household budget. Now, to know more about this, we are now joined by personal finance enthusiast Dani Rachmat, who always you can follow him on Instagram. For today, he will share his tips regarding financial planning for children education. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we start with all the money, so let me ask you, you do have a children?
Yes,
and
I have a kid.
Yeah, you have a kid, and
Yes.
then he
He
school?
is a fourth grader going to fifth grader.
Okay, so is this month like one of those months that you realize like there's extra spending for education, or is that how is
Next
it in
month
your
to be
household?
exact.
Next
Because
month.
The billing is for next month.
Right. So, next month. So please help share with us like what's your experience, and then what do we need to know before planning for our children's education?
Actually, having children and their education is something that we can plan way ahead of time.
This is before we having the children, or
Yes.
okay.
I always say that if you want to plan your children's education fund, you should plan it when you decide with your spouse, with your couple that, yes, we are going to have children, going to have a child or children. Then at that time, when you decide to do so, that is the very first time that you have to think about the education fund.
Cool.
Because when we only start to think about how do we pay for their education when they are going to enter, it's already way too late.
All right. So mind you, we're not recommending any schools or what kind of
Yes.
education. That's for you and your spouse to discuss.
Yes.
Today we're gonna talk about how you guys can plan for the education. Either you want to go private,
Yes.
public, or even now like studying at home.
Yes.
It's even
Yes,
an option.
homeschooling.
So for me, it's kind of too late to talk about like talking about the education beforehand because I already have a child and then she's moving her school. So for us who are haven't planned this before we're having children, how much of our income should we set aside for our children education?
Yeah.
Should we go to the board of like how
Sure.
how we gonna spend our monthly income
Yes.
on how we're gonna do this. So if I can have a clean slate on this one, so we can write down what's the budget and then what's we gonna spend on it. So
Actually, budgeting for education fund for the cost that we are planning to pay. For the initial cost, that is the highest one. For example, like this one,
Okay.
100 million rupiah or something. When we first going to put our kid into school, we can plan this way ahead, like 5 years before, 3 years before, and we can set aside like 10% of our income to invest to prepare this one.
10% of our
Yes,
income.
10% of
Okay,
our income.
so if your 10% of income can accumulate to 100 and some kind of millions right there, this is something that you can go with. But like,
Yes.
other than that, then you might want
then-
to consider.
We also have the monthly fees that we have to pay, right?
Right.
Monthly fees that we have to pay. It's supposed to be becoming part of the monthly cost that you spend from the, what is it? We have investment, and then we have the. It will be easier if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can get a blank slate here, so we can try to calculate like how much of our income and then how much is it should go for the
education.
school fee per year, and at the same time how much is it for the monthly
Yes.
and all kind of stuff. So if we can have that, all right. So here we go.
Yeah.
All right, all right, so let's say our income is 5 million.
5 million.
So we're not going to that number
So that-
beforehand.
yes.
So you're saying 10%.
It goes for the investment. Like this budgeting chart,
Okay.
pie chart that we always use. This one 10% is for investment.
So this
Any
is
kind
go
of
to-
needs in the future, we put it here,
Ah, okay.
including our kids education fund.
So this is when you start going to school the first time,
Yes.
there's the fee that you can use from the investment
this one.
money, and then all right. So next.
And this one is for debt. Paying off the debt is like 30%.
Okay.
We cannot do anything for this.
So 30% is for your debt that you currently
Debt
have.
service, yes.
So hopefully you'll be out of debt time sooner.
And
then-
the rest 40. This one is 60%, right? So we use the rest of 60% for our monthly expenses,
Is that-
including household and then also monthly school fees.
Okay.
It's supposed to be coming from here.
Okay. So this is your daily needs,
Daily needs, yes.
which is including
Including school fees.
school
Monthly
fees.
school fees.
Monthly school fees should go from here. School monthly fees. Okay.
Yes.
Something like that. So if I say if I have 5 million, then 500 goes over here.
Yes.
500,000 over
1,000.
here. This one's
This one
gonna
is 1.5 million there.
so 1.5 millions go over here, and then the rest is about 3 million
3
right here.
million,
So if you know your monthly expenses, you only have 3 million. So mind
obviously you cannot put your kid in like 5 million per month.
right, because
Yes.
that's pretty much just take
Yes.
out the whole expenses right there. Now, what should we do if we have not saved any money? Like, you know, I put some money on investment, but I never I never planned. One of the things is like I didn't realize, even though I already paid when my
Yeah.
daughters went to elementary school, that there's another yearly output. So
Yeah.
what should we do for education while they're already in school? Like,
I mean, for those who had not prepared anything for their education fund, children education fund, there are always options. Like
Okay.
if you want your kid to go to certain school, but you still don't have the fund yet,
Okay.
you can always choose the more affordable school
okay.
for the first few years, and up until you can move your children to that school that you want.
All right. So now we're gonna go crazy a little bit. We're gonna
Yeah.
look at some entrance fee or some school year fee for
Yes.
some private schools. Again, we're not recommending any schools, or we're not saying you should go to this school. We just want to show you the numbers, and then the number is it's interesting. Some schools
Yeah.
give you an options. You can pay yearly.
Yearly
You can
or-
pay by yearly, and you can also pay quarterly. So if you can look at the graphic right now, so let's take a look right here. Again, this number is just some random numbers. Don't go with this. So some school operate like if you pay yearly, you pay 103 millions, and at the same time, if you pay quarterly, at the end of the year, you pay 114 millions. Again. That means every period, every quarters, you pay about 28 millions. Again, this is just an example. We're not trying to recommend anything.
Yes.
But now the question is, if I actually have the money, let's say I have 103 million,
Yeah.
should I go ahead and put the 100 million and pay off the school, or should I just go ahead with the quarterly and put the rest of the money somewhere else?
Yes, the questions actually for financial, we always have the numbers to calculate.
Okay.
Yes. So what is the comparison? Whether we pay upfront or whether we put the money somewhere else.
Okay.
The consideration will be like this. When you pay upfront, you will get all your money tied up here.
Yes.
And you cannot get anything, and it will burden the cash flow that you are going to for the monthly basis afterwards.
So it could be a burden on your monthly cash flow.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
But then, if you have no problem with it and you get a discount, you should count how much is the discount that you can get.
Okay.
Let's say roughly it's around 10%.
Around.
Correct?
Yes.
Around 10%. Is there anything else that we can do to get more than 10% out of
yeah.
that money? If we can get invest in some stocks that we discussed earlier, and then we got some dividend, the potential increase of the stock, and then also the dividend will be more than 10%. let's say we get 12-15% in a year,
Yes.
or maybe in this is yearly.
Yearly,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So if we can get that, so why do we have to put it here?
Right. So be mind you. So if we're looking for dividends or anything payback, it needs to be more than 10% because the increase is the discount is 10%.
Yes,
so
10%.
if there's for some reason there's a company that can pay back dividend for 13-15%, then might as well put it right
Yes.
there because then you're gonna pay you're gonna earn more instead of putting
than-
it
yes.
right there. Okay, that's interesting. Now some school like this is example for per year. There's some school who actually give you a discount if you pay for if you're in elementary school for like the
Yes.
next 6 years or 3 years because that's become like whole different games right there. Now how about if your kid's going to junior high or high school and then you can pay off the 3 years or pay yearly, which one will you
For like when you still have kids in elementary school and then there will be middle school and then high school and then also the college. I mean, the option is still there. You still have quite sometimes up until they have to go to the school, right? So we can prepare it upfront, and then when the option is there, whether we have to pay right away upfront or just use the monthly and everything, it's all coming back to the calculation.
Okay.
What the number? I've run some scenario for this kind of school fees. We discussed, me and my wife discussed that whether we should pay upfront and all. The best option that we get was that it will be cheaper for us to pay monthly.
Oh, interesting.
Basis, instead of paying upfront with this amount of money.
But again, you know where to invest.
Yeah,
Now let me ask you. There's a lot of people who use what they call a well, it's kind of like insurance for like your
Insurance education,
educations. At what point would you recommend such a program for people?
It is funny thing is that when I ask those insurance agents that they really serve their clients with legit advices for them, they mentioned that actually there is no insurance education that you can buy and profitable for you.
Okay. So it's hard to very hard to recommend on such things. So might want to look at other instrument instead.
Yes,
to
because the education insurance that the insurance agent in Indonesia sells that actually the very basic insurance, and then the money that you put in the insurance will be invested in the same kind of investment instrument available in the market. But then you have to pay more to the insurance company
for
this, managing your money and everything, so that you can get like certain amount of money when your kid goes to elementary school, middle school, and high school. By that, why didn't we buy like traditional insurance for the parents
and then just put
invest
aside on something else? All right, well that's interesting. So it's still hard for Mas Dani Rachmat to recommend any insurance for education. The number is still not add up for the future.
Many people told me that they bought that kind of products, and then by the time their kid go to school, they still have to pay a lot more.
Oh, okay. So it's
because
not really paying.
Yeah.
Okay, so we still so far from experience, we haven't seen the numbers that it will add up for you to make sense on that one. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mas Dani.
Thank you very much.